Hey, let's talk about the idea of developing masculinity. Some people argue that traditional masculinity, characterized by traits such as strength, bravery, and stoicism, they are under attack and needs to be preserved and promoted. See, you look everywhere on Google, on YouTube, and this is very common. You see all these videos about how to be masculine, how to be a man. I watch those videos too. I find them very useful actually. There is no denying about the immense value out of them. We are also fixated with the classically masculine archetypes that appear in our favorite movies, books, and TV shows. Think of Captain America, Tommy Shelby from the Peaky Blinders, James Bond, Toretto, the guy from Fast and Furious, or the old school Clint Eastwood. When we see a brutal knockout in the UFC, the blood in our veins pops out in fury as we watch the winner climb to the top of the cage with his arms raised. We can't help but picture ourselves in his position. The bitter taste of blood on our lips, the ear-splitting roar in the crowd, and the inner assurance that we can handle ourselves in a fight. Yet our wants, our needs, and our desire to be strong and successful and powerful, to be more masculine, somehow these are not achieved. We watch other heroes in a constant stream of action films, video games, and extreme sports to suit our mounting sense of emasculation. So we've been looking everywhere all this time, searching and yearning and seeking. To quote Chuck Palahniuk from his work Fight Club, we're a generation of lost men. And modern men are floating through these changing times with no control. Women, on the other hand, they are graduating from college at higher rates than men, landing high-paying careers, able to provide for themselves easily without a man. They are also starting their own companies, becoming self-made billionaires. Men are today more confused than ever before about what it means to be a true man in this ever-changing society. From a young age, we are told to be quiet, to sit still, and follow the rules. Listen to your parents, obey the teacher, and avoid displaying aggression, talking back, or any acts that make up the traits of masculinity. Not only are we taught to suppress these natural instincts in us, we are actively being discouraged from seeking those answers by ourselves. This has led to a situation where men are demonized and criticized for their natural masculine traits and behaviors, and this is damaging to men's mental health and well-being. So some components of being masculine argue that traditional masculinity is a positive and valuable aspect of male identity. They argue that men should be proud of their masculine traits and should not be ashamed of expressing them. So with that in mind, let's talk about building ourselves. The world needs true men now than ever before. Men who harmoniously and powerfully combine the masculine and the feminine forces. Strong, brave, and even violent men who are restrained by virtue and compassion. To begin, it is important to recognize what the masculinity that society has labeled toxic. It is unsuitable, as it is not the real thing. The perspective of society regarding masculinity is nothing more than a distorted view on what it means to be a real man. When it comes down to it, It has nothing to do with how you compare to others. Being the strongest, the wealthiest, or the most attractive guy in the room, that doesn't matter. None of those things matter, like wealth and career achievement or physical appearance. These are all superficial views on masculinity. I'm here to share you some good news. Masculinity is not an inborn trait. This means that manliness is something you can learn. Yes, it is. You can learn how to be masculine, even if it's not something natural in you. You wanna know what you can do? So, are you ready to hear this? Listen carefully. Close your windows if you have them open. You can pause the video. Okay. The number one thing I want you to learn from this video is this. The masculine energy is first and foremost about action. Taking action. Building things from the ground up. Imposing your will on the world while trying to be decent. Taking big steps toward the life you want and persevering through setbacks without losing enthusiasm. The time when an activity is served as the only criteria for acceptance and validation, that is long past. Today, with the click of a button and a few strokes on a keyboard, we can share our objectives with the world, post them on social media, and win the admiration and applause of thousands and millions without doing anything to really accomplish them. True, raw masculinity, however, does not support platitudes. It is not moved by ambition or aspiration, only action. There are many people who talk and many people who think in the world today. They are planning, strategizing, thinking, talking. People with immense potential and even revolutionary ideas who lack the courage to face opposition and actually realize that potential. So take action. You wanna know how it is to become a man? Go take action today, right now, on something that you have been putting off. Actions speak louder than words. Dare to do things more. Do the things you wouldn't dare to do because mommy and daddy might get upset. Be dangerous. Your destiny is in your hands. Who determines greatness is only you, so keep at it. So I say, let's become great again. Thank you for watching. Until next time.